Hi friends, I'm so glad that you could join me today. I have a fun suite of products here. These are by Catherine Pooler, and it is the strawberry and jam set. And there's just some coordinating dies. This one here says So Berry. And so you could do all these different things like thank you very much. Then there's all these. This is an add-on set here with the sentiments. So very happy, so very delighted. You could do so many things. There's actually the stamp word so very kind. There's just so many wonderful sentiments here. And the dies are made, if you see, has the outline here for the jam and then the cutout for the jam. And you could do a shaker card. The thing that's cool about this is just if you ink this up in different colors, you could have different kinds of jam. So you could do purple for grape and red for strawberry and yellow for apricot and so on and so on. So plus then on top of that you have your little strawberry, different ones, leaves, flowers, stars. It's just a little bit of everything in this set. Then here you have a corner stamp, and you could do this on the inside of your shaker and color it in inside here. Like, just so many options. Anyways, I'm going to get started and make a card. Join me on the flip side. I'm starting with some Catherine Pooler white cardstock in 8.5 by 11 size, and I'm taking my mini guillotine trimmer by We Are Memory Keepers, and I'm cutting a piece of that cardstock to 8.5 by 11 by 4 inches. So this is going to be a slimline card, and I'm turning it into a shaker card, and it is going to be just the cutest. Take note of that yellow tape. That yellow tape is called Best Ever Craft Tape, and it's by Sizzix, and it is amazing. It's not by Sizzix, it's by Spellbinders. It is absolutely amazing. I used the same piece for all 3 die cuts here. So here I've die cut those jam jars, and I am just taking another piece of that same piece of cardstock, and again I need to make an underneath piece, so I'm just cutting it the exact same size, 4 by 8.5. Now I have that underneath piece and an overlapping piece, and I put them both into my precision press by We Are Memory Keepers, and I line them up this way so that I can stamp the jam jar on top of this lined up perfectly. So I'm just taking my magnets to hold it down, and then I'm taking that jam jar and I'm wiggling it just so to make sure it's in there and centered, and just trying to get it absolutely perfect where it goes. Then I'm trying to decide on a color combination that I want to use. So I pull out my Catherine Pooler color wheel here, and I start with a purple, which is Grape Crush. And then if I go to the triad of the orange, I'm at Orange Twist, and across from that, a complementary color to that is something borrowed. And so I'm using these 3 colors, one to represent grape jam, an orange jam, and a blueberry jam, essentially. So those are the 3 colors I go with, and that's how I chose my 3 colors, was with the Catherine Pooler color wheel. And starting with the Grape Crush, I am just inking up that jam jar and just doing it. Oh, I love this purple. It's such a true, vibrant purple. It's just gorgeous. So I'm putting that onto the precision press plate. I have 3 of these plates, so they can hold as many stamps as they can hold, and I can rotate them. It's made to rotate, so you can do several stamps lined up. Anyways, I love my precision press. There, I just turned it around so that I could stamp that last jar in that open space there. And I'm inking that up with the Orange Twist and just pushing that down and removing the magnets, putting my ink away, taking a look to see how well I lined it up, and oh, it's just so good. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now the next step is to cut some acetate for this card. And so I'm taking my all-in-one tool here by We Are Memory Keepers, and I'm cutting this piece of acetate just a little bit smaller than the cardstock that I was using, which the cardstock was 8.5 by 4, so I'm cutting this at 3.75, by 8 1/4. So 3 3/4 by, or yeah, right? Yes, that's great, right. Then I'm taking two-way tape. Now you want to make sure that you have flipped this piece over. You don't want to accidentally do it on the front of your card. Ask me how I know. I learned that one the hard way. So here I flipped it over, made sure it's good, and using my two-way tape, my pink ATG gun, I am just adhering that down. Giving it a good press, making sure that it's all nice and tacked down there, and lining it up again, making sure that it looks good, and it does. The next step is to get some foam tape and make little pockets around all of these jam jars. So this foam tape I purchased from Catherine Pooler's website, and it bends. So it's really good that it bends. It makes it so easy. And it's easier to take the strip off when it's on the sheet still. So if you do buy some of this, there's a tip for you. And I just do that throughout the whole card. Then I take a roll of foam tape that I have and fill in those white spaces with it. Now you want to make sure if you are using two different types of foam tape that they are the same height. If they're not the same height, you'll have all kinds of warping in your card. Then the next step is to put in sequins into each of these pockets. So purple for purple, blue for blue, and orange for orange. So I pulled a selection of sequins that I had. Some are by Catherine Pooler and some are by Simon Says Stamp. And I just kind of went crazy with them, but it looks so good. Look how good that looks. Purple, blue, and orange. Then with my all-in-one tool, I am going to just line up the piece with the sequins and the foam tape. And I'm flipping over. It has a bumper stopper on one side and it's flat on the other side. So I'm flipping it over so I get the bumper stopper. And then I can just push it all into the corner there and then put my backing piece with the stamped jars on the back. Now you want to make sure that you don't have this the wrong way, upside down. You want to make absolutely sure you have it the right way. Ask me how I know about that one. I've done that before and flipped it over and was so disappointed. So here I am just spreading out all those sequins. Sometimes in the past I have not done that and they're sticking to my tweezers like static. So I'm just taking my embossing buddy tool here and just rubbing the tweezers, and it actually worked. It worked perfect. Then I continued on spreading all of those sequins out so that they weren't on top of each other, because then when you put the acetate on top afterwards, they don't shake around nice because they're layered up. So I was just making sure I spread them all out. Now here I'm just lining it all up and giving it a good press down in my all-in-one tool. So then when I flip it over, ta-da! Look how beautiful that is, and it shakes and all the colors match. Did you notice I forgot something? Yes, I forgot to put a sentiment on here. However, it is not the end of the world. So I'm taking the Soberry die, and I've already cut it out a few times, actually 4 times in white. And I'm just taking some tack glue by Simon Says Stamp, and I am layering the 4 white layers up. So if I want to make sure that it's actually or perfectly orientated the right way, that there's not too much spacing between the words, an easy way to do that is just put it back into the die cut that it came out of. And that's what I did there. Then you can layer it up and it will just fall into place naturally. And so here I'm just taking, I believe, the orange, and I am just putting that right on top there. And then I take it out and just give it a good press down. So here I had a little tiny blue spot on here. You couldn't even see it. The camera didn't even pick it up, but I could see it. That's a problem. So this is a sanding block, and it has a buffer and some different grades of sanding on it. And so I'm just using that to sand it off. And this is by Couture Creations. So here, oh, don't hate me. I'm cutting my stamps. It's me, it's not you. There's many great sentiments in this set, but I wanted it to say thankful you're my friend, and there's thankful for you and lucky you're my friend, so I had to chop it up. Now, the reason I'm making this card is because we're moving. After 10 years in this town, we are moving away. And I have a very special friend here who has made my life easier on so many occasions. And so I'm making this beautiful card for her. And it has to say, thankful you're my friend. I am very lucky she's my friend, but I'm more thankful than lucky, I think. Anyhow, so then you saw me just stamp ink up that sentiment in Memento Black. Here I am doing a technique called swinking, and I'm doing it with that grape crush because although I have the So Berry in orange, I want to put a layer of purple or grape crush onto it to tie the colors of the card all in together. So I just die cut that again. And I also tried it with the blue in the top there, you can see, but the blue did not look as good. So here I'm just putting glue onto the back of that So Berry and taking my tweezers and layering it up, but leaving a shadow so that some of that beautiful orange twist shows through. And I just love how this looks and turned out, and it really ties in all those colors together of the card. And then I just take some of that craft tacky glue by Simon Says Stamp and I just adhere that onto the card right where I want it. And I just make sure that I push it down real good so that it's there. And I like that the liquid glue gives you some movability afterwards. As you will see here, like I'm a huge pink ATG 2A tape fan, but lately I've been pulling for the 2A glue, liquid glue, because of the mobility of it after the fact that it's laid down. You don't have to try to pry it back up afterwards. So here I am doing the same thing, the craft tacky glue on the back of that piece and just making sure that it's all centered and looks good. And here I am cutting my own piece of card base for this card. And I do cut that side off, but I don't show you that. And then I glue it on there with my 2A glue. And yeah, that is my card done. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you have found it, fun. Fun? Is it fun? Of course it's fun. We're crafting. Of course it's fun. I hope that you've also found it informative and helpful. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today. I am the Rocky Mountain Crafter. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and on my blog at therockymountaincrafter.com. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.